Hello students, welcome to the online video session. Today we are going to start chapter number 2 in history, that is the age of new kingdoms. Today we are going to start with the part 1 video in which we will discuss the emergence of new dynasties, warfare for wealth, and about the small dynasties that are the Gujara Pratiharas, the Rashtrakutas, and the Palas. So let's get started. As we are studying this year in class 7th about the medieval history, and I explained you all earlier in the first chapter video about the medieval period. So you all know that medieval period is divided into two parts, that is the early medieval period and the later medieval period. Early medieval period starts from 8th century to 13th century, whereas later medieval time period is 13th century to 18th century. So, the emergence of new dynasties and kingdoms are in the early medieval period, means from 8th century to 13th century. Now, we see in detail about the emergence of new dynasties. Many new dynasties emerged after the 7th century. Landlords or warrior chiefs are acknowledged as Samantas by the existing kings. Those who have their own land are called landlords, and the warrior chiefs are called military chiefs. So during this 7th century, landlords who have their own lands, zamindars, warrior chiefs, they were recognized as the Samantas. Samanta, you can say that it is a type of title given by the existing kings. As the Samantas gained wealth and power, they declared themselves to be Mahasamanta and even asserted their independence. So, as the Samanta gained wealth and power, now the kings, those who gave Samantas this power and wealth, sometimes after declared them as Mahasamanta and even asserted their independence. For example, Rashtrakutas in the Deccan overthrew the Chalukyas of Karnataka. In some cases, men from enterprising families use military skills to build kingdoms. So, what does it mean? In some cases, man from enterprising means business family. They use military skills, they develop some military skills, warfare skills by fighting, and afterwards they build their own kingdom. They were not the Samantas and not the Mahasamantas and not the kings, but by using their power and military skill, they built their own kingdom. Brahmins like Kadamba, Mayur Sharman, and Harishchandra took up arms and established their kingdoms in Karnataka and Rajasthan. So, here two names are mentioned, Mayur Sharman and Harishchandra. Now, one point which we have to understand that both they are Brahmins. Usually in the olden days, Brahmins they were either engaged in teaching work or the priest, but they took up the arms like Kshatriya and established their kingdom in Karnataka and Rajasthan. Here you can see the Rashtrakuta Empire in yellow underlined circle as well as Chalukya. So Rashtrakutas overthrew the Chalukyas in the Deccan. Now moving on to the warfare for wealth. Dynasties were based in a specific region but tried to control other areas. So let's understand this. I am the ruler of South and I am very settled in my area. But afterwards I wanted to acquire the western part, the eastern part and the northern part. That is what I am very dynamic, very ambitious and I wanted to defeat other rulers. This is what it means that dynasties were based in a specific region but tried to control the other areas. Kannauj in the Ganga Valley was one such center of conflict between Gujara Pratihara, Rashtrakuta and Pala dynasties. So the question is, where is Kannauj? Kannauj is in Uttar Pradesh in the Ganga Valley. where this conflict arose between the three parties. Kannauj is a center of conflict. It means कन्नौज इन तीनों डायनेस्टीज के बीच झगड़े का रीजन बना. All dynasties were like कन्नौज मुझे चाहिए, कन्नौज हमें चाहिए, like this. ऐसे ही गुजारा प्रतिहारा वो बोल रहे थे कि वेस्टर्न पार्ट हमें चाहिए. राष्ट्रकूटा ऑल्सो वांट देयर कंट्रोल ओवर कन्नौज, वेयर इज द पालाज. पालाज वो रूलिंग डायनेस्टी है जो बंगाल में रूल कर रही थी, लेकिन उनको फिर भी उस टाइम पर कन्नौज चाहिए था, जस्ट बिकॉज टू एस्टैब्लिश देयर कंट्रोल. The long drawn conflict is known as tripartite struggle, as three parties were involved in this. The long drawn conflict means बहुत लंबा खींचा जाने वाला कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, और इस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट को नाम दिया गया tripartite struggle. So who are the three parties involved in it? Gujara Pratihara, Rashtrakuta and the Palas. And what was the reason of their conflict? They want their control over Kannauj. Here in the map, can you see the Gujara Pratihara in the northwestern India, somewhere in Rajasthan and Gujarat, the Rashtrakutas in the northern Deccan, and the Palas in Bengal in the eastern part of India. All they wanted to control over Kannauj. Now we see in detail about these three dynasties, and afterward we will again discuss the warfare for wealth. So let's look the Palas, the Rashtrakutas and the Gujara Pratiharas. Starting with the Pala dynasty. Dharampala was the greatest ruler of Pala dynasty. He set up a center for Buddhist learning which was known as Vikramshila Buddhist University. His son Devpala extended the Pala Empire. The Pala rulers were patron of Buddhist learning and religion. They also gave generous grant to the Nalanda University and another center of Buddhist learning and education. The Palas were the great patrons of art, education, and literature. Next is Rashtrakutas. The Rashtrakuta established one of the most powerful empire in the northern Deccan around 755 CE. They became the masters of parts of present-day Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Karnataka. Dante Durg is considered to be the founder of Rashtrakuta Empire. Govind III and Amogvarsha were the well-known Rashtrakuta kings. The Rashtrakutas were great warriors and art lovers. They maintained huge armies and encouraged trade for prosperity of the people. The rulers were tolerant in religious views and patronized Shaivism, Vaishnavism, and Jainism. Rock-cut temples of Ellora are proof of the religious tolerance of Rashtrakutas. Moving on to next, Gujara and Pratiharas. The Pratiharas and Gujaras were originally Rajputs from Gujarat and Rajasthan, and later ruled on the city of Kannauj. Nagabhatta I was the greatest ruler of this dynasty, who fought with Muslim forces of Arab and finally ended up by defeating them. The origin of Gurjara Pratihara is still a mystery. They used the self-designation Pratihara for their clan, but have been described as Gurjara by their neighboring kingdoms. This is the list of these three dynasties' rulers, or we can say the kings. You may go through this list for more better understanding. Now, moving back to our topic that we are discussing before, that is warfare for wealth. The temples were the common targets during attacks as they were extremely rich. So, the attacks on the temples are directly because the temples were the source of extreme richness and these attackers wanted to attack the wealth. Mahmud of Ghazni raided the Indian continent almost every year and targeted wealthy temples like Somnath in Gujarat and carried away all the wealth. Mahmud Ghazni, he is a foreign invader who invaded India many times. He is very famous in the history of India. He is very cunning person and he was knowing that Somnath in Gujarat is a very famous and rich temple. And almost every year he raid and used to take away the wealth of the temple. He attacked Somnath temple 17 times and this we come to known from the Al-Biruni's composed book that is Kitab ul Hind, which is written in Arabic language. We have already studied about the Palas, Gujara Pratiharas and Rashtrakutas over Kannauj. Now, there are other kings, those who are engaged in warfares, were Chauhans, the rulers of Delhi and Ajmer. Means they were ruling at that area on those times. Chauhans were also called Chahamans, were in conflict with Chalukya of Gujarat and Garhwals of UP. The very famous king of the Chauhan dynasty was Prithviraj III. He fought the two battles of Tarain. In first battle in 1191, he defeated the Afghan ruler Muhammad Ghori. But in the second battle of Tarain in 1192, where he was defeated by the Muhammad Ghori.